Shadows, where have you been? We missed you. Well, you see, I was playing Hollow Knight, the subject of today's video. Isn't that amazing? Yeah. Well, practically, I wasn't playing Hollow Knight, but yeah, well, welcome back to another video. Just a quick disclaimer and a quick announcement, let's say. I wasn't making any videos because I couldn't. I was working on this video. This video took me a long time to make, so please, if you could subscribe to me, or if you could like the video, well, if you like the video, please like the video. That would be amazing for me. Now, Hollow Knight. Yeah, it's a good game. I love it. Actually, it's definitely my favorite game for the year 2022, even though it was not released 2022. Anyways, so what is Hollow Knight? I'm just going to give a brief description of Hollow Knight without any spoilers, okay? So Hollow Knight is a 2D platform game that has a lot of very, very, very cool bosses and very, very annoying bosses. And it costs 15 euros or 12, I don't remember. Actually, I think that they may have dropped the price. Anyways, yeah, that's what Hollow Knight is. Practically, now, please, spoiler alert. Who's calling me? Okay, yeah, spoiler alert. For anyone that wants to play the game, please do play the game. And don't watch the rest of the video, because, spoiler alert. Yeah, anyways, I'll see you later. Well, I'll see you the next video, I guess, because that's recorded like a day before upload. I have made this video like 3 or 4 weeks now. So yeah, bye bye. Hollow Knight is a very, 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 very good game. Now, why do I say that? First things first, before I say anything, I would like to refer to a fellow reviewer here on the platform. His name is Joseph Anderson. The channel link will be down below. Now, why am I referring to him? Because in his Hollow Knight review, which I watched thoroughly, because I wanted to see if the same points that I had were the same points that he had as well. They weren't, most of them. So one point that he brought up was that there are two ways of judging a game. The main two ways of judging a game: judging it as a product and as art. Okay. Now, then he went on and explained how does this affect Hollow Knight, and then gave his opinion on everything. Now, I'm gonna give my opinion on how this affects Hollow Knight. Okay. Now, like Joseph Anderson said, there are two main ways to judge something: a game as a product, as something that you buy, enjoy, play and stuff, and as art, as a piece of art. Now, why art? Because games do have this, well, I would say this need for you to like them, okay? So it's kind of the same as art. Also, video games have become the new era's art, so yeah. Now, like I said, how does this affect Hollow Knight in my opinion? In my opinion, Hollow Knight, if you would like to play and enjoy it, it's 11 out of 10. It's, oh my god, it's like literally perfection incarnate. This is the video game that you should play if you like 2D games, though. If you like platformers, games that make you rage, games with amazing boss fights, this is the game to play. Now, as art, the game has some flaws, really, really, really small flaws that pile up, okay, and they ruin the the perfect let's say image that the game made for me. Okay, I personally did not find actually any problems, but after watching a lot of reviews, not only Joseph Anderson's, after watching a lot of reviews, I have seen that some problems can be seen and can be noticed if you are really, really looking for them, right? So let's begin with something. Hollow Knight was not a game that I wanted to review, because almost every review of the game is just pure perfection. They call the game literally perfection incarnate. Okay, they say it's above criticism and it cannot be rated as a game because as a game it's just over the bar. Okay, so this is where my part comes in, right? This is where my savior part comes in, right? So I'm going to try today to explain to you why Hollow Knight is good when judged as art, both as art and as a prog. I don't know how to speak English. I'm really sorry. Well, actually, I don't really have a script for this one because, like I said, this was not a game I initially wanted to review. So yeah. Also, if the video is long, I don't know if the video is long or short or whatever. Just know it took me a long time to finish it. So if you could please like it. I'm not forcing you though, but yeah, if you could please like the video and sub. Also, just a quick disclaimer before we actually begin the actual review. Yeah. I will be eating a Carolina Reaper, 100 subs. So yeah, that's just keep that in mind, okay? So let's begin with the actual review, right? So Hollow Knight launched at 2017. I don't know date. I'm really sorry, but yeah, it launched on 2017. Why am I bringing this up? It's completely pointless. That's why. So when it launched in 2017, people thought that it was just a standard 2D game, just like Shovel Knight, maybe the other game with the red box that's running and leaving blood behind. Yeah, Super Meat Boy. I just remembered it. Maybe even Undertale, because Undertale is pretty cool. But yeah, it's nothing like that. Okay, Undertale has really difficult bosses, but not good bosses. Okay, in my opinion, at least, obviously. So Hollow Knight has good bosses. How do I define that? Well, you'll see later. Okay. Also, Hollow Knight has good graphics. How do I define that? Hollow Knight has good story or lore, whatever. How do I define that? You will see later. I will bring all these points up. Although the story, well, let's begin with the story actually. Okay. So although the story is not good, but it's not that present while you're playing the game. You don't really feel the story, right? You only feel it like until you're close to the ending. Okay. Now, I will be talking about the story, like the lore and stuff later, but just know this. If you came to play Hollow Knight just for the story, you are not going to enjoy it as much as someone that came to play for the bosses and rage and stuff. Okay? So, with that out of the way, right, this is your second and last spoiler warning. This is the only game I've done this in, I think. I might have done this in God of War as well, I don't remember. So, yeah, if you think that what I just said intrigued you and you are actually interested in the game, please stop the video right now. If you want to play the game, actually you also want to watch the video. Now with the second spoiler out of the way, I'm gonna say something, okay? Hollow Knight for me was the perfect experience. For you, it might not be. This is based on opinion, as always. So, Hollow Knight begins with you falling in a hole. Obviously, it does have a prologue and introduction and shit, but you mainly just fall from a hole. Okay. Now, you start the game, by learning the main movements. You can move and slash in 4 directions: right, left, up, and down when you're in the air and facing downwards. Okay. So that's pretty basic stuff, 2D stuff, okay, 2D game stuff actually. So you start on, collect your first geo, which is the currency of the game, learn your first ability, which is to revive yourself, reheal or whatever, and after that you start playing the actual game. You go up to Dirtmouth, you find a well, go down, and wow, the first place of the game, Forgotten Crossroads, and later Infected, but we'll get to that. So now begins the quote-unquote tedious part. Well, not tedious part, because you don't know the place. But once you get to know the place, then comes the tedious part, okay? If you haven't already found this particular cave, not the Forgotten Crossroads, but in the Forgotten Crossroads, there is a cave that lets you continue to the next place, to the next phase, right? So this cave has a very particular spell, which is the Vengeful Spirit. This spell just casts a spirit in front of you, dealing damage to shelled enemies or shielded enemies or whatever. Okay, so you need this to continue to the next place, which is called Green Path. Now, to continue to this next place, like I said, you need this spell. To get this spell, you need to find this cave, and to find this cave, you have to be bad shit lucky to get it. Alright, because, oh my god, is it hard. Now, I must say, before I continue, I used a tutorial to get all the particular mobility stuff. Okay, all the very important, actually, not all the particular, all the important mobility options, mobility abilities. Okay, I used a guide to get them because I couldn't find the cave, I couldn't find anything, except one actually, but that's for later. So you now have the Vengeful Spirit, of course, given that you have already found the cave. So now you also have to find the cave to the next place, which is, like I said, Green Path. Now, this cave is located in a place that you will be going over to for a lot of times, because next to there is the map. Is a map guide that gives you a a map. You can also make it detailed later. But yeah, so you find Green Path thing. Okay, this is where the tedious part comes in, right? This is where the tedious part ends. Okay. You find Green Path, you continue on, and this is where the tedious part begins again, kind of. Like I said, because you don't know the place, it's not really that tedious, alright? Now, I'm going to say that for every single place, until we get a very particular dash, right? This dash is the super dash, which lets you traverse through any territory at all, really fast, okay? And the teleport later on, but the teleport is something really late game. I don't even know if you can get it, if you will get it as a player, right? So why is this tedious again, right? When you get to know the place and you just go back and forth, collect materials, back to Dirtmouth, buy something, back to Green Path, find Cornifer, which is the map guy, and then back to Dirtmouth to buy more pins for the map or something like that, and then go back to Green Path, die a few times because you don't know the place, rage, quit the game, and then re-enter, see that it auto-saves when you die, so you didn't really do anything, so you go back, get your shade, and then you die again, and again, and again, and again, and again. But, well, that's not even the thing I want to say, right? Green Path now opens almost every single place on the left side of the map. Okay, Green Path opens, obviously, Forgotten Crossroads, which is where you came from. Fungal Wastes, which is the place you're going to be going next. Fungal Wastes then opens... well, it actually opens a lot of places. It opens the Mantis village, which then, when you defeat a certain boss, I'm not going to say yet, when you defeat a certain boss, opens the Deep Nest, which then opens the abandoned village. Now, also, Fungal Wastes also open City of Tears. Now, City of Tears opens almost every place on the map. Well, almost every place below of the map, right? So, Ancient Basin, Abyss, Royal Waterways, Kingdom's Edge, the Hive, everything is accessible from there. Alright, the Tower of Love, which is not a place, which is not a territory, it's just a place. The Crystal Peak is available from the Forgotten Crossroads, and there are some more not that important places. The Queen's Gardens are also you can also come across them from City of Tears. So if you don't already understand, 2 or 3 places open up every place on the map, right? So let's just say that this is, well, it's not tedious, but when you actually realize that, it can become quite annoying because you're like, I didn't get to explore. But now someone could come up and say like, what the fuck did you want? Did you want one place to open one place and then this one place open only the next place? It would be like a very boring cycle. I agree. But the problem with this statement, the statement that I made, is because like, for example, City of Tears opens 4 or 5 places, right? You can come up, you can go up a place, okay? You can go into a place under prepared, and I'm talking about gear. I'm talking about mobility abilities. Oh god, I'll hate to say that. Mobility abilities that you can't get anywhere else. For example, the Mantis claw lets you wall climb and wall jump, right? So if you don't have it, you cannot go to Royal Waterways because, well, actually you can go, but you can't get out. Also, if you don't have it, you can get into Royal Waterways, but can't get out. See where I'm going with this? You can get out of City of Tears without without the claw. So, yeah, right. So, well, actually, you can't even get out of City of Tears. Now that I think about without the claw. So, if you don't have the claw, if you don't have the Mantis claw, when you get into City of Tears, you're practically stuck there unless you load up a previous save or something. That goes pretty much with everything. You can't go to Kingdom. Well, you can go to Kingdom's Edge without the wings, but if you don't have the wings, you cannot get out or continue on Kingdom's Edge. You can defeat certain bosses without certain mobility actions. Mobility. Oh my god. Mobilities. I'm gonna call them mobility abilities. You can't defeat certain bosses without mobilities, and but this is where the problem is, right? Because the world is so accessible to you right off the bat, okay? Because you're gonna get to City of Tears in like 5 or 6 hours. So because the whole world is accessible to you now, it's really hard to find a place that doesn't require something else. And here is where the really tedious part comes in, right? You are in City of Tears. You have the claw, right? But in order to continue to Ancient Basin, for example, or somewhere else in general, you need another thing. But that other thing is in Ancient Basin. So let's say that you die in Ancient Basin, you cannot get out. Okay, if you have a bench in Ancient Basin and you just keep on dying because there is a boss that you cannot defeat, you cannot get out. Ancient Basin specifically has the wings. The wings is a double jump. I'm gonna call it double jump, right? So the double jump lets you out of the basin, out of the abyss and out of the Ancient Basin. Who told me that I need the wings to get out of there? I thought I just needed the claw. I don't, because there is just a steep gap that you need the wings to go, that you need the double jump to go, to pass. Alright, so you have to forcefully traverse through land that is so annoying, especially Abyss is really annoying. You have to traverse through this land, hoping that nothing will be waiting for you on the other side, and then a boss fight. And the boss fight is so far away from a bench. It's literally like 1 or 1.5 minutes away from a bench. And if you don't have the wings, which you can't get unless you fight the boss fight, you could get really overwhelmed. Alright, so that's one flaw. Okay, the world being so accessible to you right off the bat is not a really bad thing in my opinion, but it is a bad thing just because you cannot really know where to go. Okay, you can't know that if you go in Royal Waterways, you won't be able to get out without having specific mobilities. Okay, so this is the first flaw. Now the second flaw is, well, bosses. Now I don't mean it in a really bad sense, in the bad sense of the word, because oh my god, bosses are amazing. Like some bosses are really amazing, but some other bosses are quite annoying. I will be listing some of them now. The Ball Knights, I don't know the real name, and I was really too bored to search it up. Sorry. So what is this boss fight? You go into an arena and you fight 9 or 10 of them. If you're smart, you can fight 9 of them, or one less. Okay. You fight 10 of them, for example, if you're not smart, you fight 10 of them, right? These knights have 3 main attacks. They bounce, well, they become a ball and bounce. They become a ball and slide right through you, and they can also just, swipe their sword, okay? All 3 of them obviously deal damage. Even if you just walk up to an enemy when they're not attacking, it will deal damage. Or when they're staggered, this will also deal damage. You need to be really careful with that. So, what's the problem with this boss fight? It's too far away from a bench, first things first, because this can really get tedious. And the second one is that your shade, when you die, because you're going to die, trust me, your shade spawns inside the arena, and you cannot let it out, lure it out. So you just have to go into the arena, kill the shade, and then kill the 10 guards, the 10 knights, right? If you don't kill the 10 knights and you die, your shade will spawn inside the arena, and then you have to go through all that shit again. You see what I'm getting with this? It's annoying for no reason, in my opinion, always. Someone else might love this boss fight and hate the Radiance, for example, which is the game's true boss. Now, I believe that bosses should be difficult, alright? And some bosses in Hollow Knight are really, really, really difficult. Take the Hollow Knight, Pure Vessel, Radiance, Absolute Radiance, the Nightmare King Grim, Mantis Lords, Sisters of Battle. Take these bosses, okay? For example, my favorite boss is Sisters of Battle, right? Because you fight 1v3, but their attacks are so synchronized that it can really, really seem like a fucking masterpiece. Okay, I'm just gonna put up a video of the fight, right? I'm gonna talk over it, obviously, but I'm just gonna put a video of the fight and just tell me if that's not pure masterpiece. Okay, it's a pure masterpiece, in my opinion, as always. I'm gonna stop saying in my opinion because I'm pretty much sure that you've already got it. So, why do I like the Mantis Lords? Well, the Sisters of Battle. Because the Sisters of Battle commit to this commit to the idea of being hard, of being difficult, but really, really not that difficult. Okay, you don't have to fight 12 or 10 enemies at a time, or you don't have to fight an enemy with unavoidable damage, or an enemy that just deals area of effect, and if you get hit with 4 hearts, with 4 masks, being lost to your hit. The Mantis, the Sisters of Battle, actually commit to the idea a bit differently. Okay, they have synchronized attacks that can really make you say, "Oh my God, what am I playing right now?" And you're going to say that a lot of times. So once you're actually done with the Sisters of Battle, you will want to play again, but you can't. You'll see why, but you can't for now, at least. Okay, later in the game you will be able to. But when I was done with these bullshit nights, I didn't want to replay. When I was done with Nightmare King Grim, I didn't want to play. When I was done with Absolute Radiance, I didn't want to play. When I was done with Pure Vessel, though, I did want. When I was done with Hollow Knight, I did want. These are the game's good bosses, okay? And the game needs to commit more to this idea. Although I'm making this review, I'm creating this review in a point that really it doesn't matter, because Silk Song is right off the corner. In 2028, it will be released. So yeah, that's pretty much pointless. My review is pointless to upgrade the game. I'm just saying this, if anyone else has the idea to make a 2D platform game that commits more to the idea of Hollow Knight, please do not do the same flaws. Do not make boss fights be so goddamn hard that I want to to fucking go back, make my nail better, like traverse through 10 minutes of pain, okay, make my nail better, and then just go back to see that it deals 1 more damage. Alright, don't make that. The Colosseum of Fools is a perfect example. These fights are tedious, for the sake of being tedious as well. Alright, so for example, What is the Colosseum of Fools, you might ask? Well, the Colosseum of Fools is a Colosseum that you fight into. There are 3 trials. Each of them have their own difficulty, right? So the third one is the most difficult one. But although these fights are fun, I was really close to breaking my monitor. I actually broke my monitor with a fight and had to go and buy another one, buy a new one. And I am not joking right now. I literally broke my monitor. I literally just punched it, okay? I punched my monitor because of a fight. And I'm going to talk about that fight later, okay? Just put an asterisk on it, put a star on it, and then just wait, alright? I'm going to talk about it later. So, why, in my opinion, is this boss tedious and is this boss really bad? Because it's just too fucking difficult. It's not even a boss, it's a fucking trial. But oh my god, is it difficult. At a point, like the ceiling lowers down to like 10% of the arena, spikes go out with no platforms for you to sit on, and there are things that are flying and can kill you in pretty much 2 hits or in 1 hit if you're close to the spikes, because when you're close to the spikes you just fall down and kaboom, you die, and there is no other place to respawn because there are no platforms, right? So this is why it's tedious, okay? Because you're 1 hit away from death. Even if you have 8 or 10 masks for health, you will die. It is pretty much guaranteed for you to die. Even if you have the best nail upgrades, even if you have everything, I've never replayed this fight ever, and I will never replay this fight. Only when I'm bored, just to see how bad it's gotten. I don't like this fight. I will never like this fight because this fight is pure tedious. Okay, it's just tedious. But I needed to complete this fight. Mainly, I needed to complete this fight to go to Godhome. Godhome is a place where you can replay bosses, and it's just amazing. It's a very nice place. But I'm not going to talk about it now. I'm going to talk about it in a separate video, talking about the 4 DLCs that Hollow Knight had a long time ago. So yeah, I had to play. I had to. Just not for an equipment upgrade or something, but because if you go to Godhome and try to play Pantheons, which is essentially Colosseums with only bosses, like you fight every boss of the game, and then you fight the Absolute Radiance, which is the absolute boss, and then you get an ending. So in order to get the Pantheon, even the first Pantheon, you fucking need all the bosses in the Colosseum done. Okay, well, the 3 bosses of the Colosseum done. Otherwise, you cannot complete the first Pantheon because you don't have enough bosses, right? So I had to sit through so much rage, and at last I actually downloaded a hack client, a mod client, okay, that made me invincible, and I just sat down and threw every spell I had, because I also had Infinite Soul, which is the game's mana. So I just fucking spammed every spell that I had, hoping for them to die. I couldn't die because I had invincibility, and then they died. I completed the trials, completely removed the hack client, and then continued on with the game. Why did I do that? Because the game makes it so tedious. Okay, it makes this fight so tedious that I really didn't want to play. It's really easy. I didn't want to play. And this hasn't really happened only to me. This has happened to pretty much everyone that doesn't like to break their monitor every time they play a game. Okay, if you do like to break your monitor, Hollow Knight is the perfect game for you. I would even judge it as art 11 out of 10 if you want to rage. If you don't, 0 pretty much, because you're going to rage, guaranteed you're going to rage. And yeah, just be careful not to break your monitor like I did. So which boss made me break my monitor? Hornet Sentinel. Hornet Sentinel is the second Hornet fight that is totally, utterly, and completely unfair. Hornet moves way faster than you. Hornet also has spike traps that can fuck you up. Hornet also can jump unexpectedly, break her telegraphs, make new telegraphs, and also bug out. You would think that for one of the hardest bosses in the game, there would be no bugs, but they do exist. In every game has them. I can't really blame Hollow Knight for having some. So, what do you do in this fight? You have to go to get something called the King's Brand, which will make you the new King of Hollowness, which is the place that Hollow Knight takes place in. So, you go and you have to fight Hornet. Now, the first 10 to 20 deaths I had, I was loving the boss fight because it was hard. After that, I was just so annoyed. Alright, Hornet deals 2 masks of damage. So I had 6 at the time, so I was 3 hits away from death. I did not have the Shade Cloak, which makes you be invulnerable for 1 second or 1/4 of a second, so I couldn't really warp through her. The only thing I could do is just dash, double jump, and claw. These things were not enough though. So what actually happened was that I ended up actually getting a hammer, not a hammer, an ice spike, an ice picker, ice breaker, whatever the fuck, and I just, while I was punching it, I just threw it at my monitor, and the monitor is no more. I had to go buy a new one, and yeah, it was pretty tedious, not the buying process, but it was pretty tedious. I actually continued to play Hollow Knight, and I just found a glitch that if I searched for 2 minutes I would find. So then I realized that breaking my monitor was pretty much pointless. But anyways, everyone makes mistakes, okay? So yeah, that's also how I broke my monitor. So now let's just talk about the ending, right? So the ending is quite a good one, and I'm not saying the ending, the endings, because there are 5 of them. 2 of them we're not going to be talking about because these 2 are just not available now to the main game. We're going to be talking about them in the DLC ones, in the DLC video. Now, these 3 endings are 3 pretty much the same endings, okay? In all 3 of them, we die, technically. So, the first one is, well, actually, before I say the endings, I should probably say how to get the endings. So there is a black egg in Forgotten Crossroads, right? In this black egg sits the Hollow Knight. The Hollow Knight is a vessel that was once created to destroy, to hold, and then be imprisoned with the infection. The infection makes people and bugs and stuff from following the king to follow their instincts and try to kill the king and the guards and stuff. So out of fear, the king moved his palace from City of Tears down to Ancient Basin, under City of Tears, and created a place named the Palace Grounds. Now, with that out of the way, okay, I can continue with the base lore thing. So, he made a lot of experiments called vessels. One of these vessels managed to get out of Hollow Nest and go out into the abyss outside of Hollow Nest. This is our character. After that, he made Hollow Knight, the perfect vessel. So he just took him, trained him a bit, his size grew bigger, his body grew bigger, and he then made him hold the infection. I'm going to talk about the infection later. And then just put him in the black egg, imprisoned him, and put 3 seals in the doorway. 3 dreamer seals. 2 of the dreamers accepted it, and one of the dreamers just wanted to make a kid with the king, and that's how Hornet was born. More on that later. So what are the dreamers? The dreamers are called dreamers because they're dreaming they're actually sleeping in order for the seals to work, in order for the seals to break, and in order for you to go and kill Hollow Knight and ultimately just destroy the infection. You will have to go and kill all 3 of the dreamers. Now, after you do that, you go to the Hollow Knight's Black Egg Temple, the seals automatically break, the door automatically breaks. You can get inside, break the chains, and then fight the Hollow Knight, which is technically the last boss. It's not though. So the first ending is that you just kill the Hollow Knight, and you're imprisoned, and you become the new Hollow Knight. You just focus yourself, you focus, and instead of healing, you get all of the infection from the old Hollow Knight to you. You become the new Hollow Knight, get imprisoned with a seal that now cannot be broken because of the 3 dreamers that are dead. The second ending is, well, the 2 next endings are specifically the true endings. One of them is the true ending. The other one, well, both of them have specific circumstances, right? So you have to get 3 things. Technically 1, but you get the point. So 2 fragments and 1 charm. The charms are buffs or perks, okay? I'm not going to talk about charms because, well, it's pretty obvious. They're just perks. So the charm is called Void Heart. Now, Void Heart is earned by another charm that has 2 fragments, okay? So you need to go to White Palace, go through Path of Pain, which is the hardest platform game, the hardest platform part of the game, and then get to the king, kill the king, and get the 1 fragment. Then you need to go to his wife and get the 2nd fragment. After that, you need to go to the Abyss, learn about your past, and then get the Void Heart. Now the shades, the ghost, your ghost, and the other ghosts will no longer attack you. So you get out of the Abyss, you go back to the egg, and you see Hornet, which is just waiting outside and saying that she's going to help you. So you go in, defeat the Hollow Knight, and as you're about to defeat him, Hornet steps in and traps him, and you have 2 choices there. You can either let her get knocked out and then kill the Hollow Knight, and you kill the Hollow Knight, in which ending you just get locked up with Hornet. And the other ending is you dream nail the Hollow Knight, and you go to its mind. And in its mind is the last and true boss, the Radiance. Now, not the Absolute Radiance, that's another boss in the DLCs. Now, the Radiance is the heart of the infection. So, pretty much, before the king's arrival in Hollow Nest, the bugs in Hollow Nest, worshipped the Radiance, which is a god of light. Now, when the king came, using the king's brand, he made the bugs worship him and obey him. Now, the Radiance was forgotten, and the Radiance died. Now, just a bug just remembered the Radiance by a totem, and when they went to sleep and they dreamt of the Radiance got back, and the infection got back. Now, what is the infection? Like I said, the infection makes bugs not worship the king and worship the Radiance. So the Radiance pretty much just starts taking over the kingdom, and so the king with his wife, the White Lady, the Pale King and the White Lady, make some experiments using the Void and the Pale King's charisma, which is ultimate light, pale light, that defeats the Void. They mix these both together and make vessels. All these vessels are a failure because they can't find a pure and hollow vessel. So they just throw them all into ancient basin, and the Abyss is created. So 2 vessels are actually important. Our vessel, the Hollow Knight, and the actual Hollow Knight. So 1 vessel just gets kicked in the wrong direction, escapes, and makes it out of Hollow Nest. The other one gets trained and is now the Hollow Knight. So the Hollow Knight goes up to the patient 0 of Radiance, kills it, and inherits Radiance by dreaming of it. So now that the Hollow Knight is infected, the Hollow Knight is now put up in a cell, and then chains lock him up, and then the 3 seals of the Dreamers are put up so that the infection cannot escape. So pretty much the Hollow Knight sacrificed himself or itself, whatever, for the kingdom. Such dedication. Now, the second knight, like I said, the second vessel is us, the new Hollow Knight. So the third ending the Radiance ending, the Dream No More ending actually. And then the black egg disappears and Hornet is just sitting there, and when she wakes up she just sees the vessel's skull right open, and technically you die. Now there are two more endings, like I said, in which two more endings you also die. Well, in one of them you die, in the other one you just become way more powerful, that you die from power. But yeah, these are the endings as well. These three endings are the endings that you can get in the base game without any DLCs. And that was the game. That was Hollow Knight. I don't think I've hammered the point home on why I think Hollow Knight is a great game. So let me just say this. Hollow Knight is a very good game when judged as a product. As art, it's also a very good game. For me, Hollow Knight gets a 22 out of 20. Because it's 10 for product and 10 for art. In other words, 11 on the product, 11 out of 10 on product, and 11 out of 10 on art. Okay, this, like I said, this is only my opinion. You might disagree, you might agree, you might be neutral, whatever. So yeah, that was today's video. Thank you really much for joining me today in this trip down memory lane on one of the best indie games ever. And yeah, I will be talking about the DLCs. I will also be mentioning Silksong in the DLC video. But yeah, Silksong, if you don't know, is the sequel and will be on sale on 2028. I won't be surviving in 2028 because I'll probably die of corona. Now, just a quick disclaimer in the end of the video because nobody's gonna watch it. Why haven't I uploaded any videos? A lot of things have happened. One of them is that I actually lost my nail in one of my fingers. So yeah, I had to, take care of that shit. I still wear a bandage to this day. It's been 14 or 16 days now. That's the first reason that the last 16 days I haven't been making a video. And the other days, it's just that I don't really have that much passion to make a video anymore. I got burnt out a bit because I was just making the forest videos, and then I just burnt out. So I just took a break. I hope that you guys didn't mind. And yeah. Also, if you would like to watch me eating a Carolina pepper, which is a Carolina Reaper pepper, which is the worst and deadliest pepper ever, with 1.6 million SCH rate, please do subscribe. I will be eating a Carolina Reaper pepper at 100 subs. So yeah, also if you could like or share the video, that would also help me out a lot, especially sharing, because that's how the platform works. You have to share. What can I do? It's the law. Now yeah, that was it, and I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, bye bye. Is you kill the Radiance and you just destroy it, rip it out open, and then the void consumes it.